I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Hey, turn that shit off. Turn that fucking shit off.
Brought to you by Dudzik
No. We don't need to wait any longer.
MJ.
Holy frick, the Bills fucking suck.
Yeah.
It was a rough game for sure.
All right.
Back
They couldn't-
to life, back to reality.
They couldn't do.
I was thinking all last night.
Yep.
They couldn't do a fucking thing.
I was thinking about Denny Green. They were who we thought they were.
Yep.
I was.
That's
we
what I
let him
said.
off the hook. Yep. I was thinking to myself as I was getting irritated at every ensuing play. You know what? This is the team I thought we were going to have when I first made my predictions on the season. So to be 3-1 at this point, not so bad.
Right.
But that big game looked like shit.
At one point, my wife said to me, "You're not even upset. You're not even angry." I'm like, "This is what I expected to see." And to your point, we're 3-1 and pissed. Baltimore's 2-2 and loving life right now. That's what that game can do to you.
That's true.
So, were those teams, the three teams that we played prior to them, that bad?
Yes, I think those teams were subpar. I thought the Bills earned their 3-0 the right way. They didn't eke it out. They beat the teams they needed to beat. They beat them convincingly. I think Baltimore is still kind of rounding in the shape, but they hit their stride. They hit their stride
on the first offensive play of the game.
88 yards.
He does that every
time.
game, though.
I literally just said it to my wife. This guy does this to us every time we play. They hand it off to him.
Fucking first snap, though. Look at how many guys were out of position on that play.
Yeah. Something we didn't see against Miami. Sorry to cut you off. I felt like against Miami we were right in there.
Yeah.
And we were definitely not in the right places and all that.
I saw a few Olay tackles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A couple guys crept up to way too far on that play. But,
For sure.
But I'm going to admit, everyone, for you three listeners, I turned it off at halftime. I couldn't watch anymore. I wanted to go to bed and not stay up and watch an ass kicking. And
I'm a glutton for punishment. I watched the whole thing. And
all right, good. You can fill in some
I
things.
did stop taking notes, though. At some point, like Mike, you said about your wife saying that you're not even upset. That's what happened to me, too. Like, I was like, you know what, this one's done.
I did find that when I woke up this morning, it was bugging me a little bit.
Yeah.
And you guys remember the last podcast, I did a whole bunch of research with what the national media was saying. I couldn't do it this week. I couldn't do it because the flip was so dramatic. I didn't want to hear it.
Let's talk about the flip. How was it, or why was it that dramatic?
As far as the play or the
score, the game, the output,
everything.
I don't understand how it could be that bad.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know how it changed so much, but I'm holding on to one thing because, we try to be realists. We try to
cheaper tickets.
But I'm holding on to one thing. And Brendan, you brought it up before we started, so I don't want to steal your thunder, but
take it.
The last time we lost that big was Week 11 in 2021, and it was against the Indianapolis Colts at home. They crushed us. That's the year we lost the AFC Championship.
Do you want to know the game we got crushed at before that?
No, but go ahead.
Tennessee Titans. 2020, October.
Yep.
And we lost
when Henry stiff-armed, what's his name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh Norman.
We lost.
Yeah.
Put him in the 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Hold on. Back to the flip. Was this a situation? Sorry, Brendan.
Right.
Was this a situation where the Bills knew they were going to lose before they stepped foot on the field?
No.
I don't believe
Because
that.
it looked like that. It looked like that. They looked like they lost
I
before
think
they
it's
played.
the
They look like
opposite.
they're playing scared.
No,
That's what they look
I
like.
think it's the opposite. I think they went in there overconfident. They were underprepared. We're doing so well. We just keep this train rolling. And obviously they weren't ready. I mean, in any facet.
In a two-team race, they came in second in every position.
Yep.
Coaching was second. Defensive coaching was second. Defense was second.
Well,
quarterback was
they
second.
can only get first or second.
That's my point. They got beat out in every position, and everything you would look at from coaching to quarterback to receivers, they were second fiddle to Baltimore.
Okay, Brendan, now you go. Sorry.
No, I have something I'll bring up a little later. But to Sean's point, that's exactly what I was thinking. I thought that this game had it all negatively for the Bills. The offense couldn't do anything. They didn't run well.
Nope.
There was receivers dropping the balls all over the place.
Yep.
The O-line sucked.
Yep.
That was huge.
That was really bad.
Did Spencer Brown's streak end?
Oh, it must have.
yeah,
He
it had
had
to,
terrible-
but I don't
pressures.
know. It had to.
It must have.
Josh was running a lot.
Terrible trick play.
What was that?
Yep. Bass misses again. Made a nice one, but missed a shorter one. Defensive line had no penetration, no rush at all. Couldn't stop the run. Linebackers looked like backups, and we couldn't cover anybody. So it was just
Perfect storm.
you're not going to win a game like that.
Okay, so, folks, I wish you could be in on our text thread. I have a question for all of you and the panel. If the NFL installed a new policy, the team that loses that week for every game, the team that loses in their matchup, if you were forced to fire an employee or player, no other implications of cap space and all that kind of stuff or filling the spot with somebody else, just none of that. If you could just fire somebody for a week, who would you pick?
Permanently?
No, I'm sure. No, maybe for a week. I don't know.
I mean, this is more of a hypothetical, right?
Yeah, absolutely hypothetical.
I want the cap space back, though.
Okay.
See, I would go
Yeah, if
coaching
it's
probably.
cap space, give me Von Miller. But
Yeah.
Or Bass.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of things you
Or
could bring
Bass.
up. Von Miller didn't play last night. What is going on? We all loved Joe Brady going through 3 weeks. What is going on with Matt Collins? You paid money to bring him in. Nothing. Curtis Samuel, you ain't doing shit with him either. You paid him money. You used a
MVS
first
is not
round
on the
pick.
field.
MVS is not. Yeah, that guy's caught one ball out of 4 games. Keon Coleman, I think, is still getting his feet wet. He finally played against a defense that's good.
Dropped the ball right in his hands.
Kincaid, you use a first round pick on. He's not getting
had a
nearly
drop.
enough touches or involvement. What's going? You know what I mean? Like, are these concerns, or are we just
Are you saying this as the season or this game?
for the season so far?
Because I disagree with Kincaid. I think the first game he wasn't that much in, but since then he's been pretty involved.
Okay.
I agree with you 100% on Matt Collins. There's been a few plays where he and Josh are just not on the same page. And if I'm going to put my money on who knows the playbook, it's going to be Josh.
I think that overthrow that Josh had on the sideline, like it was towards the end of the game, there was a play where he threw a deep ball, way overthrew him, and my wife was like, Jesus, he like overthrew him. I said, I bet you that's not Josh. I bet you that receiver was supposed to keep running.
And it's happened a few times this year.
Yeah,
Where
and
Hollins
then
is just not
the
in the
next
same.
play they came back and then went deep again.
Yep.
It's
I think
probably
that was
because of the number he's wearing.
Yeah,
Could be.
It could be. It could be.
Don't worry, I'll work on an autograph jersey for you.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, they bring in all these players and they're not really using them a lot. And luckily, the couple of 3 games, they haven't had to use them a lot. Like,
Right.
defense has scored a lot of points, but Rousseau did not show up. That kid has to step up against big teams.
There was no penetration at all. It was horrible. Like if
No
you're gonna-
penetration
you're
is
either
not
gonna have- It is not good at all.
No.
Much better when you can penetrate.
Yeah.
So when you
Right, Herb?
First areolas. No.
know it.
Now penetration,
Oh, did you
that's
make the
way to
bingo
go.
card, Sean?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm on it now.
Have your wife do that for you.
You got it.
I feel like you need to have either
Naughty
a good,
bits.
good defensive line or a good secondary. Like if you're not going to have like not good on both of them many nights. I feel like.
Well, and they got played too. Like they got drawn into going wide, getting
Yeah.
penetration. Then they leave their gap, and all of a sudden they run right through it. So it was just an awful game. I think Bill Belichick one time said it after they got their asses kicked in Cincinnati. Just move on. We'll move on to the next week.
Let me piggyback what you just said about the D-line and penetration. Why were they only rushing 4 guys?
Because that's what they were doing for the last 2 seasons, pretty much.
That's not going to work.
They did for a few plays right after halftime. They were blitzing,
Yeah.
and it worked.
We brought that up.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
worked right
Okay,
after
so
half.
Well, it
what
seemed like
happens
they
in the
played
third
scared
where they
after they got beat on the first play?
Well, and the broadcast showed that they showed the DBs were up close to the line. They were only dropping one guy back. That's why these receivers were open by 5 yards. And just.
I mean, let's also give credit to the Ravens. I guess like they have
Fuck
good
them.
coaching, they have good players, obviously. But
Hey, their quarterback's the MVP.
tell you what, he definitely hurdled Josh on that scale last night. Fuck.
Well, and to that point too, like I think you have to remember, like yes, like they have an MVP quarterback, they have an excellent running back that they picked up, and they were the number 1 seed last year in the AFC.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're talking about like a slouch team
No,
here.
not at all.
So to me, it was just, while I was disappointed, I wasn't. I wish they played better against them. I didn't care really if they lost, as long as they played pretty good. It was the manner in which they lost, and that all facets of the game they looked lost.
There were some things this offseason that everyone talked about, like the safeties, and then we had all the injuries at linebacker. Like, those were supposed to be weaknesses. Receiver, too. Like, we didn't invest enough into receiver. Curtis Samuel's coming in with an injury. He's, like, not part of the offense right now. But the offense and defensive line getting completely dominated the entire game. That shouldn't happen. I don't know where that came from. There's not any injuries on offensive line or defensive line. They just completely owned us from the first play.
Yep.
So we talked about something last week, and I want to repose the same question after this week. We talked about the receiving core and how Josh is throwing to everybody, and it's equally. And we said we do not want an elite to come in and ruin that. How do we feel about that today?
I still don't want one, but our receivers aren't good enough. I feel like there's a happy medium between like getting somebody like Diggs / Devontae Adams, that type of receiver, and what we have now. I think there's something in the middle there that we needed to find out.
Well, I want a receiver.
Okay, hold on.
I want Amari Cooper.
Okay,
yes,
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you bring in that guy. How good is he going to be when your fucking offensive line can't protect your quarterback?
That's the biggest thing. If Josh has no time,
doesn't matter who you fucking put out there.
Yeah.
It hasn't been. I can't believe how bad of a problem it was, but it hasn't been a problem.
The first 3 games
Are the
That's why it was
Ravens
shocking.
okay?
Yeah.
So are the Ravens that good?
They shouldn't
Maybe.
be. Not they're going into it. It was their pass rush isn't good, and they give a lot up in the pass game.
Yes. Well,
and then
they're all lies.
Yeah,
Lies.
yeah.
Well, and I'll say that the plays that we were calling in the first half didn't look like they were trying to expose that at all. They really were just checking down, throwing short stuff. It wasn't until like the second half we started trying to throw deep. Not that I want Josh to throw deep all the time, but we didn't even try.
Yeah, we were just that side-to-side
calling for him
stuff,
to
short
throw it deep
screens.
all the way.
Yeah.
Well, he did get the one in the third quarter.
Well, that's what I mean. It was late in the game when you're down and you're just trying to catch up. And all that being said, I mean, they came out of the half. It looked like they had made some adjustments, and they came out. They made a big stop. They scored, and it was like, okay, come back and score again. Or I don't know if they scored coming out of it. Was that when they had the trick play?
No, Ravens got the ball.
They scored right before.
They stopped them.
Yeah.
Right.
They stopped the Ravens.
We
The defense
stopped them,
looked
then
hyped.
we scored.
We were
after that.
driving.
Yeah.
It looked good. And then they do that stupid trick play. And it was like, okay, well, if you don't do that and almost get Josh killed and you score a touchdown, it's 21-17 and you have a legit
whole
game
different game
going on.
Yeah.
Even though as bad as you've looked, you're right there.
I think a big thing too was
before the pass. Just the Keon ball was right before the half, and that could have changed the game too.
Yeah, that was big for him to drop it. I mean, he's a young receiver, so hopefully,
he made some great plays in the second half.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. The thing I was going to say was, so going into the game, the Ravens were 32nd for rushing. James Cook had 39 yards.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's got to be something there too.
Yeah.
I think they took it personal. I think they looked at it as a team that they were very close to being 0-3. They were, kind of coming in 1-2. All of a sudden, best team looks like with great additions. I think they were just mentally prepared. They were mentally prepared to show that they were still the kingpin in town. And Buffalo wasn't. Buffalo might have been riding the high like we had suggested they were, and they thought they were going to walk over this team. But they got punched in their face, which could be a good thing. It could be
I agree.
The thing you might need to carry you long term is to get your ass kicked as bad as you did by a team in the AFC. That
we shall see. Time will tell.
Just like in life, like I feel like you learn more from failure.
Sure.
So I feel like you learn what you did wrong.
Just remember who our head coach is.
I agree. Yeah. It's never good.
Okay.
Oh,
so
don't get me started. I'm
Go
sure
Herb.
I'll
You're going to
complain
be
about him
okay.
soon.
Sean, who are you going to fire?
Oh wow, that's a tough one right there because it's such a shift from last week's podcast where I was literally smoking something. I must have been because I was really, really, really on a high with the Buffalo Bills. So I'm still kind of in that. I would take
who the fuck are you firing?
I don't know. I'm stalling. Who am I?
You've had all day to think about this.
Yeah, but
Fuck it. I'm firing Sean McDermott. He didn't prepare anybody
I
for
know.
this.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that one. Yeah, you can't give it to him. He's still 3-1. You can't throw him to the curb.
That's an embarrassing display of football yesterday.
I get that, but you know what?
Embarrassing.
You pull everybody at the start. You say the Bills start at 3-1. Everyone would take it.
Well, sure, but like you come out of the gates firing like you've been, and then you put up that goose egg.
Yeah,
That was bad.
it was bad.
So I mean, I kind of agree with the
They got
coaching
fucking
thing.
manhandled yesterday. Bad.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, come on. Who are you firing?
Please, no positions that we're already very short at.
Yeah, I know. No, I you know what? When you get embarrassed like that, and it was an embarrassment. You got to look at the coaching staff.
Okay. I saw an article today that was shared on the Rochester Bills page from an article, and they said that they should fire all 3 coaches.
Yeah, I mean they were a little extreme.
OC,
right there.
DC, head C.
You know, it looked like a team that had a game plan that executed it perfectly in Baltimore, and a team that didn't have a plan at all and had zero execution. It looked like a college team going. I think you said it, a college team going up against a high school team.
I did.
It wasn't really at all. So someone on the coaching staff, but I don't want to jump on McDermott.
Okay, fine. Herb.
I'll fire the quality control coach because it was not quality out there.
Good one, Herb.
Okay.
He did not control the
Do we
quality
have
of the
one?
game.
Not
What's
anymore.
that?
He fired him.
Yeah, I
No,
just
who is it?
Yeah, he's
Who
gone.
is it?
Who cares? He's fucking fired.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't want to fire him, but Hamlin needs to not play. And Hamlin and Cam Lewis were so bad at tackling yesterday. Oh my God, it was bad.
Matt Perino on his Shout podcast was talking about how they should have pulled Cam Lewis out, move Bishop in, move Ingram over here, do this and do that, and they probably
Bishop
would have
needs
better.
to play. Bishop needs to play.
And Mike Edwards should be in there.
Yeah, somebody or
He was
bring
hurt,
back.
I think he was hurt yesterday.
Bring back Hyde. Something. We need better play at safety. Guys were wide open by 10 yards, and neither of our Hamlin couldn't tackle, and Cam Lewis was atrocious at tackling. He's not a safety, but
Yeah.
we need Teron Johnson back.
Yeah. Mike?
I'm not firing anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? We're 3-1. And if you were to
Yeah,
tell me at the beginning
agreed.
of the season, like Sean said, we were going to be 3-1, not only would I take it, I would tell you who we're going to beat and who we're going to lose to, and it would be exactly what we're doing right
I know,
now.
but this is for just discussion purposes. Who would you fire?
Well, if you have to hang it on somebody, it's to me, I'm not getting rid of him, but it'd be the head coach because he's
Okay, that's
He's
all I'm
in charge
looking
of
for.
everything. Yep.
That's all I'm looking for. Brendan.
I'm teaching Sam Martin how to kick field goals, and Bass is gone.
That's why I didn't take him. I'm
Yeah,
like, I know
no.
Brendan's ready to go. I'm not taking him.
I wonder if that is a possibility.
Maybe Josh.
The problem is they're going to be stuck with him all season long, and there's like nobody out there.
I think.
Well, there is now.
Oh, yeah,
Did you see
McManus,
that
right?
Jacksonville
Yep.
kicker that was under investigation for something? They cleared him, said it wasn't
Yeah.
good. Now he can sign with anybody.
Oh, we got to go get him.
So
Brandon
McManus.
and we
Yeah.
have the cap space to
Is he
bring him
good?
in. He got to be better than Bass.
He's a good veteran.
Okay,
kicker.
so
Yeah.
so Bass hit a 48 and then missed a 50, or
He had a
what
50,
was
Vice
it?
he
versa.
missed the 48.
Yeah,
Hit a
he
50,
drilled
missed
that
a 48.
50-yarder too.
Yeah.
Like,
Dead
It was
center.
right down the middle.
I was
Dude.
very happy for the guy, and
Before-
then the 48-yarder was
Before we
laughably
started,
18
bad.
yards wide.
Yeah,
when we were talking on the deck, I was saying if he would have hit that second field goal, I was ready to say, "Oh, this guy's the player of the game."
Right.
Yeah.
Nailed some serious NFL field goals there, and of course he missed one.
Especially this year.
fuck him.
The field goals that are getting kicked this year are ridiculous.
Oh yeah, there's 60+ yarders every
Yep.
week.
Well, speaking of 60-plus yarders, they had a video of Bass before the game drilling 60s.
Who cares though?
I
Because that
understand.
you know
I know.
that's
I wanted to text him and say, Bass, stop wasting your good kicks prior to kickoff.
Maybe it's a head case. Maybe
Yeah, just pretend no one's on the field
pressure's
then,
on,
you know?
just can't do
Put
it.
blinders on him.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
So you're firing Bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not ready to throw the towel in on Bass yet.
Why?
What else does it take?
What else?
He'll
Yeah.
probably eventually blow a playoff game for us.
Okay,
Oh,
so
he missed one in the playoff game last year.
Yeah,
It didn't.
we were going to
it
lose
wasn't-
that game
it wasn't
anyways.
the game, but
in my
he
book,
missed one,
but
didn't help.
yeah, it did not help.
okay, but he's missed a kick in every game since the opener, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And plus, like, it's not even bad weather yet.
No.
It was a little rainy, I guess, in Baltimore, but it wasn't by any means like crazy.
Windy.
Yeah. So I think, and especially playing in Buffalo, you got to be ready for anything in about a month and a half or so.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right. Okay, who are you firing?
Well, I guess I would fire Bobby Badovich because I feel like the defense wasn't ready to play. Like the defensive line we've already talked about, no penetration whatsoever. And the poor tackling on top of poor tackling on top of poor tackling. Henry, he's a very good running back, but he's a big guy. So you would think that maybe people that are like 7, 8 years younger than him would almost catch up to him and not look as bad as they did.
Who fucking tackled Derrick Henry last night and like knocked himself out of the
Taylor
game?
Rapp. Taylor Rapp, yeah.
Another safety that now we don't
That's
have.
why Bishop was in.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did knock himself out? Concussion?
He wasn't-
Concussion, yeah.
It was knocked out.
He went
but-
for his legs. It was
yeah.
a great tackle, good
Yeah.
form tackle. But
But tackling how he always tackles
Henry's
head
like
first.
Plymouth
No,
Rock,
Yeah.
just a massive rock.
His knee basically on the side of his head.
Yeah.
And
I think overall it goes to coaching, I guess, is where I would go, because they just didn't look, to me, they didn't look ready to play. Like you could tell almost from the very beginning that they just didn't have it. And I think it goes to what we were saying last week about this, about how we're playing a better opponent. And so we've had 3 games in a row where we were 3-0, which is great. It's wonderful. We beat Jacksonville by 30, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And now we played, I wouldn't say those other teams are not real teams. They are. But we played a much better opponent, I believe. And our deficiencies, came up.
Could have this game been a trap game thinking about Houston
I don't think so.
because of Diggs?
I don't agree with that at all. I think they knew what they had. That being said, I wonder how fast we would turn the page if they go out and curb stomp Texas.
Well,
I don't think they will.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. After week 6, we're going to be 5-1.
I like it.
I think we're going to go into Houston and win, and then we'll take care of business on Monday night.
Well, the
against
Jets look like shit.
Right. But everybody's coming out to play us, right? Look at Baltimore did. Baltimore was desperate. Baltimore's a good team.
Who did Baltimore play? They opened up against KC.
Kansas City.
And they
played
lost
Dallas,
that
I
game
know.
by a toe.
They
Right.
lost to the Raiders.
That's a bad
Oh, yeah,
loss.
the Raiders at home, too.
Yeah.
They beat Dallas.
And they beat Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest annoyance with the coach, we punted on 4th and 2
Yes.
from the 39 and 4th and 1 from the. I might be mixing these up. 4th and 2 from the 50, 4th and 1 from the 39. Give me a break. You're losing the game, and we trust our defense, which is getting dominated, more than we trust Josh Allen to get 2 yards.
Right.
You are an idiot, McDermott, if you don't believe that you trust Josh Allen over your shitty defense in these big games when they're getting dominated. This is why we lose big games, and he always does this in big games. He saves these terrible punt decisions, these cowardly, losing decisions, always for the biggest games.
Question, is Gillum on our roster anymore?
Yeah. He was in the game last night.
He was?
Yep.
When?
Yeah. He made a couple. He's on special teams. He made a couple tackles on special
They don't
teams.
bring him in on fullback anymore?
I guess not.
Okay, so I watched. Doesn't Baltimore have a big fullback?
They do. Ricard
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't San Francisco have a big fullback?
Juziak, yep. He's very
Okay.
good.
Who else has got a monster fullback that they've been playing?
I think the Dolphins have one. Ingold, I believe it is.
Oh, yeah.
He's decent.
And then somebody in one of the games yesterday has a big boy. Is it Green Bay or somebody's got another big fullback? And I'm like, maybe there's something to having a bigger fullback body for a lead block on a 4-1, 4-2. Not always leave it up to Josh to do it.
I'd say about the last decade, the fullback has kind of gone the way of the dodo.
Then why the fuck are these other teams using them that are good?
Because there's
Baltimore,
always
San
something-
Francisco.
It's
Right.
cyclical. Or maybe coming
Yeah,
back.
I mean, it is something like all of a sudden, it goes out of fashion, but then it comes back into fashion, and it's
It's not close, dude.
sometimes it is. I mean, we are a long way away from Allstott.
I did see a slap
from
bracelet
Tampa
2 weeks
Bay.
ago.
I mean,
He was a monster.
right?
That dude was awesome.
You're in good hands with Allstott. I mean, that was the thing.
You do see,
being a fullback.
these teams bring back size on offense
Sure.
because every defense is playing nickel and 2 high safeties.
Sure. So
and
do the Bills
you just
have
run it down their
size?
throat? We got the 2 big tight ends
Yeah.
that can
One
both
can block, one cannot.
Yeah,
They have the.
yeah. Kincaid's
and
not
back-
much of a
I
blocker.
believe they're the heaviest offensive line in the league.
And back to
Not the Bills.
to Herb's point.
Didn't they say last night that Baltimore has the heaviest offensive line?
We'll fact check it.
Well, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, I guess.
On us.
Yeah.
Because Dawkins was getting his ass blown up all night.
Schno, man.
They all were.
Yeah.
It was bad.
You should know.
Bad.
You don't know Schno. How's that
We didn't
work
mention it, but I'm hoping that Terrell Bernard is back ASAP.
He practiced last week.
Because
So
as
did
much as
Johnson.
Dorian Williams and Spector have done a pretty good job the first 3 games filling in, they can't cover anybody.
That's true. Yeah.
The tight ends and the running backs out of the backfield were just catching at will. They could not.
Oh,
cover them
dude,
at all.
Derrick Henry
So
ran
much
away from
separation
Dorian Williams on
everywhere.
that touchdown pass.
He ran away from everyone. We kind of said, I think, last week that, we might be younger and maybe inexperienced, but maybe now we have like a little more speed, and it didn't look like it in that game.
I didn't realize that Derrick Henry was that fast.
I didn't think so either. He's a
For
big
as
guy
big
too.
as he is,
He never
He's
gets
like
caught from
240 or
behind.
something, isn't he? And our safeties couldn't
Ran
get him.
away from him.
47.
What do you got, Bruins?
Yeah, Bruins are right. Bills average weight 278, Ravens 273.
Oh, all right. I stand corrected.
There it is. I was so kind of shocked by how he pulled away for that first touchdown that I actually looked up his age. He's 30 years old. And he just blew past
No one touched him.
our team. Just blow.
No one touched him.
Like turn and run. I mean, they're already at
fully
least
untouched.
15 yards in the backfield and they couldn't catch him. It was impressive. It was impressive.
You guys honestly think the Bills are going to respond well?
They better. I mean, if
Historically.
the Ravens were ready to go for us because they were desperate, I think the Bills are going to have that same chip on their shoulder because of the ass kicking they just got, and they're going up against Diggs. I think their heads are going to be squarely on. They're going to be focused.
Why were the
I
Bills
do.
not focused?
You know what? You get caught up. You get caught up. You're 3-0. Could this be the year? We're talking. I'm talking Super Bowl winners. I mean, you get caught up in the moment. You do. You're in Baltimore. You're.
You played football.
I did.
Do you remember those big nights?
I did. Yeah, we lost a lot of them, but you know what? I mean, you're finally playing a quality opponent, and you just weren't ready. You just weren't ready. That's just how it goes. I look at it.
I guess glad it happened early in the season.
Sure,
Exactly, yep.
sure.
But there are better teams coming down the pipe.
I think there's 2 good things about last night. It's over, and we don't have to hear Chris Collinsworth for a while.
Yeah.
It's a love affair with Baltimore. Anyone not Buffalo Bills related.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I wrote down it's just football. When it came down to it, I didn't get too high. I certainly didn't get too low with last night. I came at it as it's just football.
Sure.
You go over there, you don't fumble the ball, you make it a 21-17. Even if you lose it, it's respectable. You make it close. We'll take the moral victory. It didn't turn out that way. A football play occurred. A couple of football plays occurred, not in our favor. They took it to us. We lost. I got to go to bed a little bit earlier than normal. We move on.
What happened to you? This is not who I know.
I was kind of feeling it. I was like, there's no shot. I stayed up to the third quarter. After the third quarter, I was done. I didn't go past the third quarter. But I was content. I'm like, I got to work tomorrow.
I guess I'm just disappointed that they didn't show up. You're a professional athlete. This is a big game. It's the biggest team you're going to be
Right.
playing. You knew the guy was going to try running the ball down your fucking throat, and he did it.
Well, and that goes to the fact that I'm sitting between you and Herb, who just went off.
2 studs.
On 2 studs, 2 lady killers right there. And at the end of the day,
Lady kills. Wait till you see the pizza review.
fantastic. Yeah,
Of the
right.
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox, fresh cut. They didn't look ready, and that falls back on the coaches. At some point in time, the coaches have to run gassers because they look like a team that did not have a game plan,
Do you...
which flies in the face of the
Hey,
first 3 games.
Wouldn't that
think-
be something? They just brought the coaches out there. Pagula's like, you guys are fucking running. And they got the coaches out there
We
running.
got Lindy Ruff running them.
It looked like McDermott was going to cry at
Yeah.
one point or two.
You kept
twice.
saying that.
Yeah,
he
it looked
looked
like
like
that,
he
yeah.
looked crushed. I'll ask Kyle this and everyone else. Someone from ZaBills Nation reached out to me and said,
You're going to shout him out?
I know because I forgot exactly who said it.
Oh, okay.
But-
a student?
Might have been. Oh my god! Now I just fubbed the question. But they asked me whether or not the linebacker who got hurt.
A rap.
Nope.
Bernard.
Bernard.
Nope.
Milano.
They said
Yeah.
would Milano have made a difference?
I asked you that
Hell
on the
yeah.
deck.
Did you? No,
I asked you on the
yeah,
deck.
but it was some. It might have
Yes,
been.
because they showed him on the field, and Bill was here, and I said, do you actually think that guy would make a difference tonight? And I would say no.
Oh, I
No,
fully
he is
disagree.
not a one-man wrecking crew.
I
Herb. He's
took
not
the-
going to...
He's an all-pro caliber player. He's
Dude,
elite.
he's not 12
He's our
guys.
best player other than Josh Allen. He would make a difference.
Now I took the NA.
You might still lose, but he makes it different.
I didn't
Oh,
say
yeah.
I didn't say
I
yes
agree.
or no. I just
I
said
don't
it's been.
know.
Oh, you're right, because I think my answer to you was it's been over a year since we've seen the guy.
Well, that's my concern.
mean,
He hasn't
that's-
played in so long. How long is it going
Right.
to take him to get into game shape, and will he get back to that?
Right. Like
Sure.
that, that's
Right.
pretty concerning.
Trey White didn't never
Fair,
got
but-
back.
Same
No,
thing with
he still
Vaz,
isn't.
took a year
He's
and a half.
playing horrible this year.
Okay, so what? Milano makes 10 tackles and they still...
Well, I think
Get crushed.
I'll tell you what. I don't think he rips off an 88-yard on the first play.
Yeah, maybe only
with Milano
50.
there. I
If you
think
have him and
I think he
Bernard
gives
back
you.
there, that's
Milano
a
and
different-
Bernard
that's
are
different.
like that would have made a difference in the game. I'm not saying we would have
Did
won.
those two play together yet?
Oh yeah,
They played
Yeah.
together, but I don't know if they played.
They
Briefly.
played very shortly
Yeah.
together.
Probably
Right?
the first four games last year.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a couple games
yeah, until the Jacksonville game.
because we didn't know who Bernard was at that point.
Right.
Bernard, Bernard and Milano are huge losses.
I would like to think Milano would have made a difference, but they would not win in that game.
So when you asked who should get fired, I think it really would come down to like injury luck because you took 1A and 1B out of the middle of the field, and I think Baltimore was salivating. I think they built a game plan. I can't remember who said it last week. It might have been Herb who said it. It's like, I can't believe they didn't throw more over the middle and expose us for what we were with our middle linebackers.
They did.
No, I'm talking like last week. I'm talking
Yeah,
with like
last-
Jacksonville.
I was going to say, last
Yeah,
night, the middle of the field was wide open.
Yeah, and I think the injury bug finally you
But
saw that.
I mean, you could watch the video view.
Oh, yeah.
Was behind the Ravens offense, and all you saw was the 4 D tackles.
Yep.
Do this, and they could drive dump trucks right through the middle every fucking play.
yeah.
And yeah, they had guys wide open.
So,
I think
back
missing-
to Milano, when you have all those guys coming down at you, I don't think he's going to take on 5 guys and win.
No, he's not going to take on 5 guys, but we're missing the entire second level. It's basically, and if you include Teron Johnson, that's basically our 3 linebackers. That's our middle level of our defense, and those guys are very solid tacklers. We had Cam Lewis out there who was afraid to tackle. He just puts his head down. We had Hamlin. All right, Hamlin's not replacing any of those guys, but like he's a problem. He needs to be replaced. And then we're replacing our 2 best players other than our defensive linemen, I guess. Like those 3 guys might be our 3 most important players on defense.
And this one's for Corey right there. Corey, this is a shout out for you, Corey. It's almost like in hockey not having your top 3 centers. Like
Okay,
I don't
I'm sure
I don't
he cares.
I don't think we're actually like giving it just due considering we're 3-1. If you take your top 3 centers,
Take the fucking record out of this.
it's impressive on defense what they've been able to do against teams that could put up points and hold it down. The dam just broke. I mean, that's what it was. If you take your top 3 centers, if you take out your top 3 pitching in baseball, that's what the Bills defense is faced up against right now.
Yeah,
Like
And
listen,
I've
you played
said like during these other games, like, oh, you don't even notice that they're gone. Well, and I didn't anticipate this happening, but when you play a real team, they exposed us big time for those guys.
What was the line on the game?
2.5.
2.5? We were the dogs.
Well, and to Kyle's point, kind of what I was thinking was, okay, we're 3-1, but you don't want to be Miami last year, where all your wins are sub 500 teams. They couldn't beat anybody who had a winning record. So we'll see next week because we're going against a team that's 3-1. But can we play against some other teams that are good and not just beat up on the bad teams, because we don't play that many bad teams this year. We're mostly playing pretty good teams. So they're going to have to figure it out.
Definitely. They have to figure it out quick because, Houston's pretty good.
Houston, I just looked Houston's favorite at 1.5.
Fantastic.
So that
So the Bills
actually
are
the Bills
actually
are
favored.
Bills
by
are
a point
actually
or so.
favored.
yeah, it's away.
yeah, please.
Anybody see any of the pundits bashing the shit out of us this morning?
I couldn't do it
I
this
did
week.
not
Colin
watch
Coward.
I
anything.
figured what would happen. I
Nick
didn't
Wright,
watch.
I'm
As
assuming.
much as I watched them last week, I watched nobody this week.
Yeah.
That was me. The same thing. I couldn't even go on Twitter this morning. I'm like, no, forget it. I'm not even looking.
Yeah.
I just don't. I could understand like if it was a close game and final drive, they wore him out with Derrick Henry just pounding and pounding and pounding him. But just to come out. Shut up, Herb.
A lot of dicks.
I thought you were going to say something about being, 5 guys on him, but
I didn't
trying to
say
take on
anything.
5 guys. But
Yeah.
I do watch those stupid talking heads after we win, because it's like, I want to hear what that freaking rat Nick Wright has to say.
Did you
after
hear
we
him
win.
today or no?
No, I won't watch him after we lose.
Through fans.
Oh, we should pause and go do a deep dive and watch this shit.
No, it sounds horrible.
All right. Well, that's why we're at therapy, just so we can.
Bills therapy. I mean, this is, we are doom and gloom. But Mike brings up a really good point. I mean, if we can get a quality, or if we just get a win against the Texans, our next 2 games are the Jets and the Titans. I mean,
Yeah.
you could be 6-1.
The Titans are barely beating Miami right now.
Right. You could be
Yeah.
6-1 and then we're back to that peak of the roller coaster.
That's the big thing about the NFL. If you can beat the bad teams, you'll probably win 12 games.
Well, especially in our division, we're going to win the division as long as we keep our head on straight because of who's in it now.
Right.
right.
So
and
I
we
really
get healthy by the time the real important games happen.
Well, isn't
We get a
Taron
home
Johnson
playoff
supposed to
game.
play this week?
Yeah. Well, I
and
don't know if
Terrell
this
Bernard
week-
too. Hopefully,
Right. They didn't put him on long-term IR, so he's around. He's not going past
And
4.
Bernard's been practicing with a non-contact jersey.
Yeah.
He's been doing all the individual
Right.
drills. So I just hope that team goes into work tomorrow with a whole different mindset than we have at this table, because they have to look forward.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: if they get cleared to play, would you have them start, or would you ease them in? Couple plays here, couple plays,
get 'em
couple
in
plays.
there.
Yeah, and then they get fucking hurt again.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what Mike said. We want these
They're
guys
not
when it counts.
100%. I mean, if they're not, they're not 100%. But if they're not, if you're really risking a re-injury, you can't put them out there. But
Right.
yeah,
So, like, if they're feeling 60%, 100% of the time.
60%. Yeah,
Smells like pure gas.
75%. I'd say you want. Yeah.
Is anybody else nervous that this little monster's poked his head out? You're like, oh shit, this is a team
I'm
that
a
they,
little
they,
nervous.
they
Who's
could
poking theirs out?
Yeah.
be. The Bills.
They may not be the number 1 dominant team, but you go into any NFL season and start 6-1. The division's pretty much already locked up. I mean, the Jets losing the way they lost. You take care of business, you're guaranteed a playoff spot. You're fighting for a bye.
Yeah, I think the important thing is this doesn't, just because we got our asses kicked, which we completely did and got completely dominated, that doesn't mean our team sucks and our season's over. I definitely, as I'm
the
watching,
optimist of the table.
not during the games, I'm not that way. And then the next morning, I'm like, okay. Well, no, the next morning I'm still pissed off. And then once it gets to like lunchtime, it's like, all right, we'll bounce back.
What do you have to eat to bounce back? What'd you have for lunch today?
I had a nice salad.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why he's so
chicken
thin.
salad.
in bourbon.
Herb.
Yeah,
That's right. Bourbon
At work?
salad.
I wish. Yeah, I gotta start bringing that in my water.
How is the
bottle.
cafeteria at SUNY and Triple C?
It's not. Oh yeah, they redid it. It's nice.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't eat
Little
their
quad.
food, but
How do you know?
My daughter's recitals.
knows.
Oh, okay.
We spent a lot of time at Triple C
SUNY.
rehearsals. SUNY.
Give them the respect they
SUNY
deserve,
Niagara.
SUNY Niagara.
Yes, you know, Niagara. Yep. My stepson goes there.
Okay.
oh yeah, nice. Yeah. Good,
The one
it's a
thing
good
I am
spot.
really worried about is Josh Allen's hand. What's going on with
Yeah.
that? He's
Which
still got
hand?
the glove on his left hand.
Oh.
He's still got the glove on. The fingers are still taped up.
Probably fucking broken.
It's been like 4 weeks.
He was handing off with the left hand.
I was going
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
he was using it at least, so
Yeah, that was nice. to see.
How bad was the shot he took on the flea flicker?
pretty
Bad.
He got his
Yeah.
belt.
Bad.
I was glad he got up. Because
That's a legit concern.
Like an actual hit or like shoved hard?
he felt awkward backwards.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he got-
kind of already like leaning back.
Yeah.
He got the ball taken out, and then Van Noy, their
which is-
monster.
it was clean.
Big 2-handed push.
I was more concerned that he got his shoulder got
Yeah.
fucked up
Yeah.
because it was one of
Yeah.
those plays where he's about to air it out. It's just like the play against the Jets. Was it last year?
Yep.
A couple years ago,
And he's just about to throw it as hard as he can, and his arm gets hit. I could see his shoulder being really sore. It's probably super sore today.
There was a
I
couple.
thought that might have been the concern, but I don't really know.
Super cereal?
Super cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a couple streaks that ended in Shakir, NFL record. What was it? 29?
Yeah, I think he hit 30, didn't he? Or did
No,
30
I think he
get
hit
dropped?
29 and 30 he dropped. Josh continues his 0 interception streak. Von Miller ends his sack streak.
Yeah.
However,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be that guy.
What?
Josh did not throw any picks, but holy crap, did he throw a couple dangerous ones?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At the
He
end,
got
when
lucky
they
a
were-
few, yeah.
when they were trying a little too hard.
We
at the
talked
end.
hero ball.
Did Hero Ball come out?
I think it. Yeah,
A little bit.
it didn't damage them as badly as it has in the past, but he was playing hero ball.
Yeah.
I think you can still see that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, like the hero
Yeah.
ball thing. Last night he definitely could have been real bad, but
I thought he seemed a little rattled because our lines were getting just dominated, and like he had guys in there every play.
So
Yeah.
I said it. I think I said it in a text feed last night. I was texting a couple different groups, but one of the things that kept getting brought up over the first 3 games were all the pre-snap motions that Brady had us doing for 3 games. What happened to that last night?
Yeah.
We may have had one guy in motion.
Yeah.
And it was they typically do that to try and see if it's man or not or what, you know what I mean? The for lack of a better term, the trickery of the multiple guys in motion was gone.
Yeah.
What happened there?
In this game, we needed it more than ever.
Exactly.
I don't
'Cause
know.
that
I don't know
keeps-
what they called a bad game. Brady called a bad game, I thought.
So
Yeah,
I
I think that goes to his experience. I think that that's what we were talking about before, is that hopefully he learns from it and figures it out. He already came out and said the trick play was his call. It was a bad call. Never should have done it.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So hopefully he can see that now and learn from that. And it's only the 4th game of the year, so hopefully that
Right.
doesn't happen.
I remember after we lost that big game to Indy, Von Miller had said it's good every now and then to get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
And then, of course, the next game he was out for ACL. But that's but we went on a run.
Yeah.
We went on a run after that. So
With the trick play, like if that works, everyone's saying what a genius he is.
Actually-
But whenever the Chiefs do plays where the snap goes to someone other than Mahomes, I always say you're doing the defense a favor.
Absolutely.
If the snap does not go to your quarterback,
yeah,
you're in it like your elite world beating quarterback, you're stupid.
yep.
I agree 100%.
Yep. And
Yeah.
you had said before your quarterback gets you the 2 yards that we need, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
You said, where's the fullback? You put those two out there together.
Yeah.
We're looking at a different game. So
Sometimes football is
Yeah.
real simple. It's just a hat on a hat.
Yep.
And that was we were
Wow,
just getting
Dennis,
blown off.
excellent.
Hell
Yeah, I mean,
From
we
high
were
school.
just getting blown off the ball big time, both sides.
The 3 plays that stand out to me is could have changed the game. The 2 punts
Yep.
on 4th and 2 and 4th and 1, and the stupid trick play.
Yeah.
If those 3 plays are different, maybe the Bills came at least crawl back into
Right.
it, and we got dominated on both lines. But if those plays, if we didn't fuck those up so badly, maybe we're in the game.
yeah, we score a touchdown. We make a stop. We get the ball back. We're
Yeah.
moving the ball again in chunk
Yeah.
plays, and then the trick play, and it went
Yeah.
downhill from there.
That was the game
So
right there.
let
yeah.
me ask you this: why do you think at that time of the game he decided to pull out a flea flicker, which I've never seen the Bills do in years?
Right. The last
or
time
ever.
I remember one flea flicker. I don't know why I remember
Jim
this.
Kelly?
Jim Kelly. Andre Reed,
Yeah,
end
yeah.
around, back
Yeah.
to Jim Kelly, and Don Beebe's wide open all the way down the field.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
But,
And when's the last time they used Wildcat formation? Why
Right.
the fuck are we doing that?
well,
Whoa! We
well,
did that
paradigm
last
shift.
night.
that was the flea flicker. It was in Wildcat. I'm okay with
That's
Wildcat.
what I mean. It was the stupidest
listen-
thing. It was the dumbest play since the Hamlin fake punt.
Listen, I'm
Yeah.
okay
Yeah,
with
It was not that long ago.
It was
If
very
we have
dumb.
a short yard to gain. I'm okay with the Wildcat if Samuel's keeping that ball and running right up the middle because that's why we brought him in. He's a rusher and a receiver. It's to Taysom Hill. Right? And we might talk about this before, right? Didn't we? I was talking about somebody.
Right.
You're not putting Josh in that kind of spot though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I-
and you got to read. Brady's got to read the room. You're not getting any protection.
right. So
How is not Josh Allen going to get any yardage running up the
Yeah.
middle?
and
Yeah.
and on that particular play, you don't have one Baltimore Raven on your quarterback. There was like 5 of them right there that any of them could have killed him.
And what I don't understand even the point of it. It's we snap it to Curtis Samuel. Josh is lined up as a wide receiver, and then he runs over to Josh and pitches it back to him. How did that trick anyone?
Right.
Why don't if we want to use Curtis Samuel creatively, which they're not doing right now.
No.
He's been not a part of the offense, and that That's a bigger concern to me than Hollins. Hollins is maybe, veteran minimum, whatever. But Curtis Samuel, he gave him 3 years, $24 million. He's got to be a part of the offense.
I think they paid Matt Collins some money.
But it's only a 1 year deal.
Not much.
And
Curtis got money. Like, you got money.
But I said this on the pod last week, I believe, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but he hit 600 yards on a shitty Washington team.
Yeah, not this season.
No, not this year, but last year it was.
Yeah.
It was a shitty team with a shitty quarterback and a bad coach, and on and on and on. You've got Josh Allen throwing to you. Why aren't you using him more? If he can get 600 yards on that team, he can get solid on this.
And you hope it's just the fact that he's coming back. Turf toe is a super brutal injury. But he
looks like he's moving good, doesn't he?
But yeah, he looks like he's fine out there. It seems like now he should be healthy and starting to be in the offense at all, and he's not.
If he's not healthy, there's got to be somebody else.
Yeah,
somebody else has to step up and do something, because this is like we said, the fourth game of the year. So by now, if you're not doing it, somebody else has to step up and do something.
Yeah,
because like we said, he's getting paid money. He's a good player, he really is, but he's hurt all the time.
But he's not hurt right now. That's my point.
That's the thing, though. Like, if he is a little bit hurt, then get him the hell out of there.
But is he? Because he looks fine to me.
That's what you wonder. I mean,
I just don't think we're getting it.
Like,
to him.
I know turf toe is one of those like nagging things that can happen. It can spring up from time to time. So maybe that's happening. I don't know, but maybe they're not using him the right way too. I think that can definitely happen.
But
I remember I talked about that last week on the pod, that getting Curtis Samuel going would be great because he is very talented.
Yeah.
But if he's hurt a little bit, or get MVS out there to catch a ball in the last 3 games, maybe something.
But I think, my point with Samuels, I don't see an injury. I looks like he's playing well when he's in.
Yeah.
MVS, I'm not convinced is. I mean,
I can't.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a once a game shot play, and that's about it.
Hopefully not drop.
What about if they brought Claypool back?
Nah, I don't think he'll give us more than what we have. I think.
Well, MVS is giving you fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Hollins
I think,
is got 2 catches this season.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
The 2 positions that I think are
Three.
big concerns moving forward that you got to make changes are safety and wideout.
Okay, speaking of wideout, should they? I know everyone's eating, right? The little that they're eating, they're
Nobody
all
ate.
eating.
Bills
a
went
little
on,
bit.
they went on a
last
diet
night.
last night
Yeah.
because nobody
They
ate.
starved to death last night.
Yeah.
So should the Bills have a guy who is more like a 1B, like someone who is not a true number 1, but someone who's that guy? And
I mean, right now, I think that's Shakir.
Yeah.
Right.
They had nothing
Yeah.
down the field all night. Like, they had the one, obviously, to Shakir, 52 yards or something like that, I think it was. But that was even a broken play. So, besides that play, and the one that Coleman dropped, there wasn't a whole lot downfield. So, I don't know if the guys aren't getting open or something's got to give,
Shakir had an injury too.
yes,
Shakir
they tipped him up.
he
yeah.
walked out in a boot. They said.
Okay, here's a question.
Yeah, they had his ankle taped up, and then he played the rest of the game. But
Yeah,
he
that's
wasn't right.
That's gonna linger. Like that's not good. That's not a guy we can afford to lose. with
Here's
our
a huge
receiver depth chart.
hypothetical. Huge hypothetical. What would that game have been like last night if you had Andy Reid as your head coach?
The Bills might have won.
I mean, all the players played like shit. So
I mean,
I
there's something to be said
McDermott's not
about
on the
that.
field.
They talked about that on the broadcast, that both these guys, Harbaugh and McDermott, worked under Andy Reid, and neither of them have any luck against Andy Reid. So you might be onto something there. Like, neither Baltimore nor Buffalo can get past their mentor type coach. Short of the Lord and Savior, I don't think anything was going to bail the Buffalo Bills out yesterday.
I think the bigger coaching thing right now with the Chiefs is Steve Spagnuolo. That defense is dominant. The Chiefs are putting up 17 points and winning.
Yeah.
What?
How is Chris Jones that good?
Chris Jones is ridiculous. And Mahomes, did I talk about this?
Mahomes throws another interception.
Mahomes
4
has
games in a row
not
with picks.
accounted for 3 touchdowns in a game since October 22nd last year.
Hey, how many
In
times
any
have we
game,
heard in the national
rushing
media?
plus passing.
How many times have we heard about Mahomes' interceptions this year?
0.
Not
I
one.
know.
Yeah.
Shit on
What
that
does he
guy.
have? How many does he have? 5 now?
4 or 5
He's one
minimum.
Well, and he's the guy that hurt Rasheed Rice, isn't he? Isn't
Yeah.
he the guy that kind of
Yeah.
hit his
Oh,
knee?
yeah.
They
Yeah,
did say
he's got
that
5 picks now.
They don't think it's torn, the ACL, so that's not good for us. But
Yeah. One can hope.
Yeah. No, I mean, their defense is keeping them in games, and it's super annoying. They're 4-0, and they won the Super Bowl. Again, Mahomes has not accounted for 3 touchdowns in any game since last season, like week 6.
But
Well, he does suck.
they won 2 Super Bowls in a row.
He is
And
terrible.
they win.
Yeah.
They win despite of that. Their offense is not good. It has not been good for a full season,
Yeah.
a season plus, and that's what's frustrating. And we're supposed to have this defensive coach that's gonna, our defense. And McDermott, I think, does a good job with the defense, but they have a better defensive coach.
Okay,
Steve
so
Spagnuolo is a better defensive coach than Sean McDermott.
if Bobby Babich has been calling the plays all season, does McDermott take over this week?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to step on his toes. I mean, what's he there for? If
He's been calling the plays
Scapegoat?
with other guys, yeah.
I think if you get to 3-3, then that's when you pull the ripcord. I still think at 3-1, you got to ride this out. You hired him, you believe in him. It's hiring somebody in any position, teacher, law, wherever, and all of a sudden giving him like the first 5 weeks and being like, oh, I got to step in. This guy can't handle. Unless it's an emergency, you're 3-1.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not going to happen then, because remember my prediction.
You're going to be 5.
5-1.
Yeah,
5-1.
5-1.
What if they do
Yeah, I
lose
don't
to
think it's
Houston?
time to panic yet.
I still think you're fine. I mean, because honest to God, I would have been slightly nervous that the Jets found a way to pull it out, but the Jets really don't appear to be anything. The Dolphins are getting their asses kicked to the Titans. New England is laughable.
I want the Bills to beat the Texans for the sole purpose that they can make all the memes
Yeah.
of Diggs watching the Bills' victory for the game.
That would be great.
Don't let Diggs score. No scores for Diggs at all.
Right.
I don't care what you got to do. Let anybody else score. Don't let Diggs score.
Well, we need Taron Johnson back then.
Yeah.
I got 2 things that might make you feel slightly better, hopefully, leaving this place than when you came in.
You
One,
found us a new sponsor?
not yet. We're working on that. There was an interview, ironically, talking about the Georgia-Alabama game, and they made a connection with the Patriots and Belichick. And the Patriots were getting. It was the year they won a Super Bowl. It was like maybe week 4, and the Patriots were just getting absolutely destroyed. And the takeaway from Belichick was, man, we've got something special because our guys, even though at halftime they're getting their asses handed to them, they made a game of it. They showed a lot of courage, a lot of heart, and what were they able to do? Turn it around and use that as a jumping point to win a Super Bowl. I think there's something there to be said about getting an ass kicked this early in the season.
Oh, yeah.
Did they turn it around during that game and make an effort?
They
or
made it
because
close.
We didn't.
No, it was similar to the Georgia Alabama. You're down 31-3.
What a game! Did you watch?
was a
I
hell of
watched
a
it right to
game,
the
yeah.
end.
Right,
Holy
and then you're a score
awesome.
away. I mean, you clawed your way back into a game that you had no business. You could have just folded, and I thought we were kind of trending in that direction, especially in the third quarter. Oh, okay, we're making a game out of it, but then it became a football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're going to take anything away from this game, you got to say, hey, it's week 4. A lot is going to change by the end of the season. And hopefully this is just a blip on the radar and, we can move past it. And this isn't really reflective of how we're going to play good teams.
And I got a poll question for the entire table right here.
Hold on.
We're holding.
The Lions must have watched the Bills game last night because Jared Goff just scored a receiving touchdown.
There it is.
They blocked it a lot better, though.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, man.
Fuck.
If you had to pick one win, you could win only one game between Baltimore and the Texans. What win do you want?
I want the Texans.
Herb?
I don't know. Probably the Texans, but it would be nice with the whole
You only get one.
Lamar undeservingly winning the MVP last year.
Right.
Can I put a little meat
I'll
behind
go
my answer real quick?
Texans.
Sure.
There's a couple reasons why. Number one, the Diggs thing, of course, right? Number two, every pundit, as Kyle says, picked the Texans as the team to dethrone Kansas City this year. Number three, C.J. Stroud was very vocal about he's better than Josh Allen.
Oh, boy.
Over the
Really?
offseason. Yep. So for those 3 reasons, Texans.
Okay. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, I would have to say the Texans too. I mean, I know that, Baltimore is who they are, the number one seed, all the shit with, Lamar being picked as the MVP over Josh. I would have just liked it to look better. We're going to lose. I want it to look better.
Right.
That's fine. But yeah, I think that the Texans win, it means a lot more to not only us, but I think the city losing Diggs in the way that we did.
Right.
And people just want to see it, show them what's up.
Denny?
You already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the Texans because my boy Diggs.
That's right.
All
Kyle.
the way.
I'm going to say Texans also because my expectation was the Bills were going to probably lose in a one-score game to the Ravens. So, but
Are we singing a different tune if they take care of the Texans next week? Are we back on the train?
it depends in what fashion they beat them.
I never left the train.
Yeah,
same.
I'm not
No,
leaving the train.
Yeah.
I
did. I'm
5-1.
This is more of a solemn
I'm half
ZaBills
on, half
podcast
off.
this week compared to the first 3 weeks.
I mean, I think we got exposed quite a bit last night.
All our
So I feel
weaknesses were shown.
Sean,
So we'll see.
answer your question.
Texans. No,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that was the reason why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Is because if I had to pick between the two of them,
Yeah.
I definitely want that Texans for
What if
every
we
reason you
switched to
mentioned.
this? What if we did beat the Texans or beat the Jets the next 2 weeks?
Oof, if you lose to the Jets, that's bad.
I don't want to lose to the Jets. I'll be very upset.
Yeah, and
if
that's
we lose to the
division
Jets.
too.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
Jets
Monday
to
night.
division,
And it's
yeah.
Monday night.
You
my
gotta beat
answer
the
is
Jets.
all of the above. I want
No,
both.
you got to pick
No.
one.
Another primetime game.
We're gonna
No,
beat
we gotta
both.
beat
We're
the
gonna beat
Jets.
them both.
Are they
anyways.
done after that? The Jets game, or do we
So
have
like-
one?
so
more?
like
I
there's
think
more
there's one later in the
December.
year.
We
Yeah.
still got to
the
play
40,
them later.
49ers
yeah.
later in the year.
I've got one for you.
Oh, that's one.
Oh, Monday night. Yeah.
I am still taking the Texans
Yeah.
because the Jets play next week, Minnesota.
Yeah, at 9:30 in the morning. They're in London.
Yeah, they're in London at 9:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I don't see them.
Oh, good. We
winning
can
that
watch. We can
game.
watch breakfast
I
football
could
and then
see the
go over to
Jets
the
winning
fire
that.
You could
department.
you
I
could
could see the
lose to
Jets
them,
winning that
but,
game.
but against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Hey, Herb, are you going
It's
to the
such a-
fire department next weekend?
What is that? Where?
At Brighton.
Oh, here we go. Why?
bought
is
a
there fire?
ticket.
Oh, okay. We'll see. What time is that at?
It's for
an
the
away
Bills
game.
game.
The 1:00 game.
Ooh.
So you already have a ticket,
Free booze and drink and food.
and all you can
booze
eat.
and
Oh, you can
drink.
eat
You
wings.
paid for it.
All right.
You could walk home from Brighton.
Yeah, I probably could.
You could. It's probably
You're
the same
closer.
distance
We
to
walked
here.
one time.
Yeah.
We walked a couple times and
That
I threw up
sounds
on the
like-
way home.
That sounds like a solid deal. Yeah. All right, I'll
It's-
consider it.
I
I got a busy
okay.
social calendar.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Seeing a lot of dicks.
Going
I don't
to,
know
yeah,
till I know.
going to the fire hall.
That's my boy Herb. There it is.
He's closer to it than the rest of us.
Yeah.
We should carpool from
What
his
game?
house.
Which game?
The Texans game.
Texans
This
game?
weekend,
This Sunday.
Oh,
They put it on a giant jumbo screen.
okay.
There's raffles and stuff.
I
Raffles,
like
chicken
jumbo
wings.
things.
I'll probably bring some shitty pizzas.
All right.
Although, I heard good things about Joey's and Labella's.
Yeah, we should try those.
The future
You
us
should
did.
try those,
The future us heard good things.
Oh, you just ruined it. I think I had that nailed. Hey, did anybody in this game have hands like Diggs? Yeah, probably Derrick Henry.
He did catch a touchdown pass for the first time in a while. I know.
Since 2019.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, but yes.
Derrick Henry is also electric, like our friend MJB Electric. Mike, what's his number?
465-5017.
Call MJB Electric for your residential and commercial needs. Call Dr. Bob, because Josh is going to be sore.
Yeah, certainly.
He is sore, for sure. Well, I think that's enough for tonight.
I got to give a shout out to Mrs.
Oh,
Viola,
okay.
to Mrs. Stephanie. I'm going to take a page out of Denny's page. We will be celebrating our anniversary at the Fire Hall, Brighton Fire Hall.
Oh,
Nice.
This will be the 18 illustrious, wonderful
She
years.
is fantastic, dude.
With
Is she
Stephanie.
coming or what?
She will be there in person. We got to celebrate our anniversary.
Nice.
I mean,
Wow.
we might as well celebrate it with ZaBills Nation.
There you go.
Ticket. I
There
know
you
we
go.
can get one.
Yes. So
I should
she-
follow that up with another happy anniversary to my beautiful wife as well, because that's tomorrow. So
Wow, she's getting two.
she
Two of
might
them.
she might not have heard the one last week, so you gotta double down.
All righty.
These guys are podding scared. They're like McDermott out here. They're podding scared.
Hey, I wasn't crying.
Well, Dennis, in that case, I'll say happy anniversary to my wife. It's in July, but just in case she doesn't hear it.
Just get in there while you can. You know?
So conservative out here. They're not taking any chances.
That's right. Stephanie, I love you.
Oh, my
That's from
gosh.
her.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Well,
18 great years.
I'll change the tone.
Thank you.
R.I.P. Pete Rose
And
Just found out
Dikembe
tonight.
and
And
Dikembe Mutombo.
Dikembe.
Yeah,
Tough day.
yeah, really tough day.
It was a tough weekend, too. There was
Yeah,
four
the dude,
actors.
The dude to play Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
really?
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
Chris, yeah.
Professor McGonagall from the Harry Potter movies.
Maggie Smith.
Yep. Whatever, Maggie, yeah. And there was I don't know, some soap opera guy, forgive me.
She was in Hook.
But-
She was.
She was in Hook.
Yeah.
She
She
was
was Wendy. She was
Yeah.
Wendy in Hook.
all over the weekend.
Sister Act
all
too,
the
I
Harry,
think, right?
all the Harry
Oh yeah,
Potters.
she was the head.
Yep.
The head nun.
Yeah.
Sister Act 2 or 1?
I think
One. One at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Hey, Herb.
Hopefully-
Underrated movie. By the way,
Hopefully,
Sister Act.
my P Rose baseball is worth some money now.
I know. Yeah, I have one too. I met him in Las Vegas.
Yeah, me too.
2019. We were just talking about that. He was doing a
Yeah.
signing in 2019 at the Mirage. And
Did you guys hit the craps table after?
well, funny story. So no, but so you know you're kind of like lining up to meet him, and we're next, and he's got a laptop next to him, and he's watching a hockey game. He's watching a Sabres game. I think it was like Sabres San Jose or something like
He
that.
had money on it.
And
Hell yeah.
that, I assumed he did. I didn't ask him, but
Oh,
I
that'd
hope
be
he didn't
great.
bet on
Why are you
the
watching a
Nice.
Sabres
Nice.
game?
yeah, yeah.
That'd have been
I
sweet.
told him I was like, "Oh, I'm from Buffalo," and he started, chatting it up and whatever. And
Hell yeah.
sad day. Should have been the hall. Hopefully,
They'll posthumously. What's that word?
It's not.
Posthumously.
Posthumously.
It's not.
What do you
I
got?
screenshotted the TMZ report when they said he passed away, and the very first comment is, now he'll get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, it's stupid that he's not in. It's
Oh, yeah.
stupid
Yeah.
Yeah, to have the hits leader and the home run leader not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
because of gambling.
Pete Rose never
Yeah.
juiced.
They all juiced. That could be a whole nother podcast.
Just
They
watch
all
that.
juiced when Bonds was
Listen,
hitting
we got
dingers.
Right.
about 25 minutes
And none of
of
them are in.
After Dark if you want to squeeze it in there, Herb.
Oh, we could get the the juices flowing.
Juices and deep penetration.
I'm
Could all
natty.
shoot
I'm
up some
natty.
steroids. Yeah.
Ever seen someone take an All-Star game seriously? It's when Pete Rose rounded it and slammed right in that catcher. I think I don't know if it was a collarbone, but you never see that in any league.
Yeah.
A guy go that hard.
Hey, when home field advantage in the World Series.
Yeah.
That's who used to be on the line.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about another great baseball player. What about that Shohei Ohtani or whatever his name is? Holy frick.
52-52, Ohtani.
Could you say that again for us?
God bless you.
Biggest name in baseball right now across not only the U.S. but the world.
It's like a soda
you
talking
gotta
about
say it
Shohei
again.
Ohtani.
Say it again.
Ohtani? I don't know.
Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani.
The last I saw, he was 52-52. Is that where he's at, or is he more?
Yeah. He got to 55.
He's more, I think. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah.
had 57 steals.
No shit. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, not really a good gambler either.
No.
No.
Well, no, it wasn't him. It was his
Oh,
person.
yeah.
His interpreter.
But I think I'm
Yeah.
going to be on top
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
No, the
Where's
MLB
$40
had to
million?
cover that one up. The MLB had no
He's
choice.
way too big.
Yeah. I got a good staff for you.
Oh, here we go.
If Shohei Ohtani hit 42 straight home runs on his next, well, all right, say the season extended, he hit 42 straight home runs on the next 42 at bats, ended up with 96 home runs. He'd still have a lower slugging percentage than Barry Bonds in his 2001 season.
Isn't that nuts?
That's how dominant Barry Bonds was.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it's the juice. You
the
like
juice helped. The juice helped.
But
Yeah.
like Herb said, they were all doing it back then.
Yeah.
You know, McGuire, Sosa, all those guys.
Another good 30 for 30.
I'll tell you what. There's one player though that I don't know anything, but I believe never took the juice, and I actually got to see him play once in St. Louis of all places. Was Griffey Jr. and he hit a home run the game I was at, so that was pretty cool. He was in
yeah.
Cincinnati at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
was,
he
that was-
never got fat until he retired.
well,
Got to live a little.
Yeah.
And then how good is Aaron Judge?
Never got big.
yeah, he's a mountain.
I think he's great. I don't know why they keep on pitching to him.
Yeah,
Because they want to see the record broken to a kid that's not juicing?
Yeah, because I mean, besides him, the Yankees don't have a whole lot. I mean, they have Juan Soto this year, but besides that, they don't have a whole lot.
How many is he up to?
He's
60?
58, I think he had.
Jesus.
Got a while.
He had 62 a couple years ago. He had 58 this year.
Oh. When's the regular season end?
It ended
over.
yesterday. Sunday?
Technically today because
Oh,
because
you're
of
right,
the
yeah,
rain
today.
delays.
Yeah.
The Mets and the Braves played, and they
That was a
each
hell of a game.
it was a doubleheader, and they each had to win the game to get into the playoffs, and they each won a game.
Yeah.
So then what?
So that now they're in the playoffs.
They're
So now
both
we
in the
start.
playoffs.
Yep.
Oh, they both are in.
And that eliminated Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona, yeah.
Brendan, how did our Guardians finish up? I see they were.
They won the division. Wow. They were leading the entire American League. I have not seen where they are recently.
They're behind the Yankees is where they
Yeah,
are.
they might be a game
Yeah.
or two behind.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they're like the number 2 seed.
All right.
So
They
I
got
think
a
they
shot?
get the bye. I think they get the bye. So I don't know if they have what it takes to go all the way, but it's a pleasant surprise because nobody picked them. That's for sure.
No, they were hot all year.
Might not have the pitching. That's the only thing.
Yeah, their starting pitching has been just decimated all season long, which, they still played well without it, but, they lost Shane Bieber, their stud, the first week of the season, and it's been rough. Yeah, it's been real rough.
Hey, real quick, I've mentioned him before. A guy that works for me is a huge Miami Dolphins fan. He just texted me. He called in sick tomorrow. Not really.
Why?
But because of the Tennessee game.
Just pack it in.
Yeah.
Now you're rooting for them to lose. You want that draft pick.
Huge Dolphins
It's a weird
fans.
score, 22-6.
Right.
I didn't know huge Dolphins fans existed.
Oh my God! When they were halfway decent, especially last year, he was a pain in the ass. I kept firing him every week.
Oh, you better tell them the rest of the season's going to be worse. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh, geez.
On a rainy day, what movie do you try to find?
Oh man, now you're really putting me on the spot. I don't know if I don't have a go-to movie.
I can answer that question easily.
Let's hear it.
And actually, it came back in theaters a couple years ago, and we went to see it in the theater. Shawshank Redemption, my favorite movie.
I was just going to say that's on AMC all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's a
you
good
can
one.
never go wrong.
Nope. And
watching
it came back in the theaters, and Kelly and I went to see it, and it was amazing to see there. There was like 4 people in the.
I was trying to think of like movies that like play on TBS every now and then, and like that I just love. I got a few go-tos, I guess. Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Are you excited about Happy Gilmore too?
They're gonna ruin it.
I was going to say
They're
I'm
gonna
not stoked
freaking
about
ruin
that
it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
No.
All these remakes, nobody has any new ideas anymore.
Yeah.
They're all remakes
Yep.
or sequels or prequels.
Yeah.
Sean, I believe, told me that he saw Beetlejuice and it was good.
The Beetlejuice remake. It wasn't a remake. The Beetlejuice sequel was actually a quality sequel. Like it was like, okay, yeah, it's not as good as the first one. They're missing some key actors and some key characters, but
Gina Davis?
yeah, Michael Keaton brought it though.
Baldwin.
Yeah, Michael Keaton brought it, and
Michael Keaton's
the
pretty good.
storyline was pretty good. The main antagonist was underdeveloped a little bit, his wife, but there was some pretty good humor, pretty good action. Yeah, it was good. William Dafoe, he held his own. It was pretty good.
William Dafoe was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in it.
good.
it
Speaking of sequels, I recently saw Axel Foley
Okay.
Oh yeah,
finally, and I thought it was definitely better than the second and almost as good as the first.
Really? I
was
liked the
really
second one.
impressed.
You didn't like the second one?
It was all right, but this one was good.
Okay.
Like they didn't make it cheesy at all.
Okay.
Good storyline. They
What-
kept you guessing.
Netflix?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix?
Yeah. Do you have
Was this
that? Do you-
Beverly Hills
yeah.
Cop or whatever?
Yeah, Beverly Hills
Yeah.
Cop
Yeah.
4.
Whoa.
Yes.
Talk about sequels.
Not like Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah. I had a soft spot for The Godfather and for Beverly Hills Cop 3, Wally World. Yeah, I don't know why. It was on. It was. We had the one time we had free HBO over the summer, and it was on like every night. And I was like, he's in the costume, very cheesy. I'm like totally in the minority, but
I'm going to tell you and everyone else here, I've never seen The Godfather.
I know. So disappointed. I'll send him memes of The Godfather right over his head. But one of these days you're gonna have to come over and just watch the first Godfather.
They're all good though. I think
I
they
like
are.
Godfather 3. I mean, I'm Italian. It's kind of like saying I like the Olive Garden, which I'm not allowed to say, but
They were all good though. I the only one I didn't like was there was that later one that what was it called? They tried to. It was like a fourth, and it was horrible. It wasn't Godfather 4. It was, I don't know.
Right.
I could figure it out and let you know, but it sucked.
Gotcha.
But the Godfathers are really good. We watch them all the time. They're on, we watch.
I also heard that The Goonies is coming out with a sequel.
That'll get
And
ruined,
Spaceballs. They're going to ruin both of them.
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God, who are they going to have in Spaceballs?
Mel Brooks is still alive. He's still doing it.
Yeah, but
He's like 98 or
what's his
something.
face died,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Lone Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Rick Moranis still kicking?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
He is, yeah.
Rick Moranis
I don't think
did.
he acts anymore.
Well, he stopped acting because his wife had cancer and she died, and then he took care of his girls, but they're all grown now, so maybe
Right.
he'll come back, you know?
Interesting. Yeah, for me, it just depends on the genre as far as, favorite movie. You got to have your favorite comedy. What are you in the mood for? To me, my favorite comedy is more probably because of my age, but one of the first movies I got to see in a theater without my parents, Super Troopers.
Oh my
That's
God.
good, yeah.
So quotable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously
Yeah.
funny movie.
I'm actually disappointed by your answer.
What?
I really thought you were going to say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Well, that's why I said it has to be genres. So if you go to Christmas,
That's your movie?
well, then you're talking Die Hard probably. I don't know.
Sean is finally come around, right? Sean?
Absolutely not. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
I'm with you.
I've got the decorations to prove it, to back it up.
I'm with you.
Totally not a Christmas movie at all.
I think my go-to movie is probably Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's it's like a short enough movie where you don't have to spend like 3 hours, and it's got a real good story. Watch it over again.
Well, and anything with Chris Farley's gold.
Yeah.
So, because he's just stupid funny.
Except for Black Sheep, right?
You mean Tommy Boy?
That was
too?
good.
Oh,
Yeah. Black Sheep even made me laugh, you know?
I
not
got no
sure the
problems
one-
with Black Sheep.
Yeah, Black Sheep was okay. It wasn't as good as Tommy Boy, but it was pretty close.
What was the one where Farley played the governor's brother or governor-elect's brother?
that's
That
it.
wasn't.
That's
was
Black
Black
Sheep.
Sheep.
Black
Oh,
yeah.
all right. Well,
With
never mind.
Rob Lowe, right?
No,
Don't forget about Beverly Hills Ninja.
It was
Oh,
the guy
Rob
that was
Lowe
the
is
bad
not
guy.
Tommy
It was the guy that's the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 3. He's in that.
Out. Really?
The bad guy that's
Yeah, I know you're talking
hiding in the layers in the
yeah.
park. He's the guy that's. Wow. No, it's not. It's the dude from Animal House.
Who's also in Beverly Hills Cop 3. The guy, the sidekick. He's also, I believe, in Animal House, too. The kind of dopey, white, sort of not professional.
No.
Okay.
So let's talk about Die Hard 3 real quick.
Yes, sir. Which one was Die,
Die
Hard
Hard with a
3?
Vengeance.
That's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
The
The
best
only one not at Christmas.
the best way to watch that movie is on normal TV when they dub it.
Wait a minute. Die Hard 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, is that the one in the park?
Yes.
In New
Yes.
York City?
Yeah. It's with
the Reynolds.
Wait a minute.
the brother,
Seen
the
this.
brother of
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber's
Please
brother.
tell me you're talking about
Which
the
is
same
played
part.
by who?
Jeremy
All right, go
Irons.
ahead.
The
Jeremy
part where
Irons.
they're in the park trying to defuse the bomb.
The puzzle.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The
and
riddles.
they're yelling
the
at each
water.
other, and it's Bruce and it's Samuel L. Jackson, and on it's normal TV, so they're yelling, "Don't you call me a melon farmer? You're a melon farmer instead of motherfucker."
Yeah. He calls him a melon farmer. I've seen that. I can't believe it.
Because they wanted to edit out motherfucker, so you're a melon farmer.
That's pretty good.
He calls him a melon farmer. I can vouch for that. Yeah.
Simple minds, simple pleasures.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Shit.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
This was
We
fun.
didn't make our Bills predictions.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, back to the
is
matter
on
at
fire.
hand.
Herb's the one keeping us in line. You know it was a rough night last night.
Okay, folks. Bills v. Texans. Denny?
I'm going to say 31-28. Bills. Bills all the way. And no Stephon Diggs touchdowns. Not one.
Not one.
Fuck him.
Yep. Okay. Brendan?
I do think the Bills are going to bounce back this week. I think that was a real wake-up call for them this week, and I think they're really going to get up for this game with Diggs. Yeah, they're going to probably, bro out a little bit before the game, but once it starts, they want to beat them for sure. They want to, stop all the haters. They want to stop, everyone that said, Diggs was all you had, which he kind of is what we had. But I think the Bills will win. So We're gonna say Texans 35, Bills 24.
Okay. Michael.
I'm going to stick with we'll be 5-1. So Bills are going to win. I think Diggs will score. And I'm also going to put a bold prediction that Keon's going to get 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. I'm going to say, I'm going to stick with the 31 that Dennis had, but I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go 31-17.
I need to get that soundbite from Dodgeball. That's a bold prediction, Cotton.
See if it works out for him. Need that one.
You have the pundits, I have the bold prediction. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, this will probably be, what the hell's the over under on this game?
1.5 Texans.
Well, yeah, we're
over under. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm guessing. Man, everyone's going to be thinking it's going to be a shootout, and that means it's not going to be a shootout. So I'm going to say, okay, over under is 46.5. Man, their pass rush scares me a little bit. I do think the Bills will be back to really. They're not going to take this game lightly. I'm hoping we get Taryn and or Terrell Bernard back. I think Taryn would be a bigger one for this game. I'm going to say Bills 25-22.
It's a good score.
Is that a scoregami or no?
Maybe. I don't know.
Definitely one of the unusual ones.
Yeah.
I also like the Bills, but I like the Bills because I can see the unraveling of the Texans in this game because I could see them force feeding Diggs to try to really put that punctuation.
Yep.
And then the Bills realizing they're going to go for a Diggs often and really have him locked down I think the Bills, they got punched in the face. I think they respond, they wake up, the smelling salts. I think they win 35-21. Which is ironically below the over-under because it's 46.5. But it's right there at 46.
No, you're doing the math wrong.
Yeah, that's 56.
Aren't you a teacher?
I don't teach math. I think I had that conversation last night on the deck. I do not teach math. It was a quick ad. My bad. Totally off. It's way over the over. Kyle, bail me out.
Hammer the over.
I think the Bills are going to lose. I don't want them to lose. I think they're going to lose. I think there's going to be too much emotion with the Diggs thing, and I don't know. I think the Texans are going to catch them at the right time. I think it's going to be like a 24-17-ish. Prove me wrong.
Hey, the Texans should have lost to the Jags on Sunday. They got bailed out by the Jags blowing that game hard. And we just destroyed the Jags also at home. Nico Collins is terrifying. He's a much better receiver.
Are you
than
trying
Diggs.
to talk me out of my pick?
Tank Dell's still injured, right?
No, I'm just saying. Nico Collins is way better than Diggs, so I hope they force feed Diggs.
Yeah.
And Tank Dell is still injured, right? He didn't.
He
play
might
last
be
night.
back. I could see him being back for this one, so we'll see. But
Well, let me ask you this. Who's covering Diggs?
Taron
Rousseau?
Johnson.
Hopefully,
Diggs has
everybody.
been playing the slot a lot, I think.
Oh.
Well, we need him back.
Yeah, we need Taron Johnson back.
Is it too early? Did they have the practice?
They were probably off today, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they won't.
Flying back.
Once we get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's when we'll start to
they'll
get
start
the
doing the
injury
lineup then.
report stuff out. But, yeah, we're going to beat them.
It'll be interesting to see what they have for Bernard and Johnson.
Yeah, Rapp too.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if he's back in or not.
I would think Rapp would be out, but we'll see. He had a concussion, right?
I assume so.
Speaking of concussions,
At a minimum, he had a concussion, if not like a neck injury.
I want to see, what's the name, the rookie 24?
Bishop.
Cole Bishop. I want to see Cole Bishop play.
He played this week. He went in because
I want to see
Rapp
him
got hurt.
I want
right?
to see him start. I think it's his time.
I think the only reason why he didn't is because he got injured in camp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed a lot of camp. Same with Mike Edwards. It might be time for him soon too because
What about
and Hamlin struggled.
What about Elam? Anyone surprised he hasn't stepped foot on the field yet?
Well, he's played special teams, but doesn't that count?
He had a
He's still
camera
getting the game check.
Yeah.
Still making more than me.
Ingram's played well, man. Ingram's played
Yeah,
well.
you can't argue that. It's kind of cool to see, Ingram Buffalo.
Right.
It says that. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully our Beals step up, bounce back, learn from mistakes, bring down the W, and we'll do a full review from the Brighton Chicken Wing Fest.
We should do the review right from the fest.
Yeah, we should. That's a great idea. You going to be there?
I don't know.
25 minutes ago, you said you were going to be there.
You already bought a ticket.
You can't guarantee anything in life.
That is 100% true,
Yeah.
except for taxes and
Death and taxes.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
Father Time has
Isn't
not
there
lost.
a third one? Death, taxes, and something else.
Mortgage.
Just two, Franklin.
That's where you're
Death
supposed to
and taxes.
insert wherever,
Death,
whatever
taxes,
you-
and the Bills
Yeah.
letting us down.
The point you're trying to make.
Yeah.
Henry running for 97 yards. One play.
Henry smashing the Bills.
Yeah.
So stupid. All right. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
ZaBillsPodcast is a presentation of Kmart Productions, sponsored by MJB Electric and Dudza Chiropractic. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't, please follow, rate, review the show. It helps with the algorithm. ZaBills is executively produced by me, Kyle. Executive sound engineering by yours truly, also me. Fundraising, also by Kyle. All artwork executively produced by Avery and Mark Rochon. What the heck is this? All music and lighting executively produced by Kyle. That's more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully. Arrive home safely. Good night.